The F word is at the forefront of a digital fashion revolution. And with me is the co-founder, Krishnan Sangameswaran, to talk about the company. And let's just start with, what is it? I mean, I talked about digital fashion, but what is it that the F word is doing?
Right. Thank you. And thanks for the, having me on this discussion, Jane. The F word is a digital fashion creator platform, right? And our goal is to make digital fashion creation more accessible. Okay. Now that sounds, let's actually double click on that, and let's start with what the problem is. If you actually look at digital fashion creation, right, it's very complicated, right? And there are a couple of pieces to this. One main reason is, when you talk about digital fashion creation, you're talking about 3D creation, right? And 3D creation is extremely hard. And there have been incumbents. There are incumbents right now. There are players in the market. I mean, there are multiple tools you can use, but they've been around for many years, and they have layered feature on top of feature, feature on top of feature, and there's significant amount of bloat, right? And I think that the user experience, if I was to come in there, it would take me months, right? Any fashion designer coming in there would take them months to to learn and to gain a level of expertise or comfort with these tools, right? So that's one piece. The second thing is, it isn't just a single tool that you're using, right? To do digital fashion creation, right? You have to hop between multiple different tools. And really today, if you look at that value chain, right, there are experts in each one of these tools. So, you're having to bounce your designs as a fashion designer between, actor 1 to actor 2 to actor 3 to get multiple pieces done, right? So for example, let me sort of add some detail to that, right? So if you're looking, typical workflow is you start with sketches, okay? And then you use a tool to do your sketches. Then you go and you do your 3D dress design, and you're using another tool to do your 3D dress design. And then what you do is then you move on to fabric, right? And you've got another tool that you use to do fabric, and then you put it all together, right? And we're just talking about creating a 3D file, okay? Right now, we aren't talking about if you want to drive engagement with that, right? If you want to get it onto the metaverse, we're talking about now taking that and conditioning it on another different tool, right? So already, I think I'm already sort of you're getting a sense of how complex this process is, right? And and our goal with this, and I said at the start, is to make this more accessible. What we want to do is we want to create a single integrated platform, right, that offers this on canvas as well as off canvas functionality. And by on canvas, I mean creation, right? And the off canvas functionality meaning, that drives engagement and monetization, all the digital, be it social media, metaverse, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. And so who would be your targets? Are these designers? Who are you targeting with
Yes.
this?
Absolutely. I think broadly in the long run, right? Broadly speaking, these are creative people, right? Creators, right? But to really sort of whittle it down, I would say that our target segment are independent fashion designers, right? And by independent fashion designers, I mean, a solo player, a single, guy or gal, or 1 to 5 people, a small collective, right? And that is our target segment. And I can build a little bit on why this is the case, why we think, because if you look at the way that these people operate today, right, they're still, many of them, the penetration of digital tools here, right, and 3D tools is actually quite low, right, within the segment. And if you look at them, most of them are working with pen and paper. Okay, and they're working with physical samples, right? And so they're going, to and fro with the factory, with physical samples. Factory comes back with something. They say, no, I want to change this, and then they send the request back. Factory comes back again with the change, and so you're already looking at a lot of the cost and time, so factors here that and that can be improved. That's number one, right? Now the second piece is, even the ones who have adopted digital and are using 3D, right? 3D design and 3D files, to do that communication with the factory and so on and so on and so forth. They're outsourcing that work to somebody else, the artist or the 3D artist, to get that work done. So it's not even in-house, right? So that's time for them, right? So that's time and cost. So I think there's an opportunity to sort of make this self-serve for these people so that it can speed up the process. Yeah, I think that is a fundamental opportunity. And I think that is just creation, right? And if you're looking at independence, and anybody who's is a small and business enterprise, they're always looking to grow their brand awareness, right? Because they're always interested in growing their business. It's important for them, right? Because of where they are in their stage, right? It's a drive to survive and thrive, right? And if you look at that, they want to engage, and many of them that we've spoken to, they're very interested in getting on, driving up engagement, getting on things like AR, augmented reality, where they can create filters that people can try out their dresses. They can get early feedback. Maybe they can get pre-orders, things like that, right? So you've got AR and you've got the metaverse, you've got all these new areas. And to be honest, at this point, for these people to get there, there's a massive technical hurdle, right? And I think that's why we're coming back to this, which is, if you have a single integrated platform that offers creation as well as these new digital engagement capabilities in one seamless product, I think that really speaks to them.
No, it sounds like it saves a lot of time and a lot of kind of back and forth to be able to do this all digitally, I guess, on the blockchain, because you are working with Zebyte, right?
Yes, that is absolutely right. Right. So we've got two core technologies with what we're building, right? I think one is AI, right? And the other is Web3, right? And AI is what we're using to simplify the creation process, right? And with Web3, it opens up multiple different engagement possibilities, right? That hasn't existed before, right? And on and for that Web3 piece of things, we're using the Zebyte stack. So we're a Zebyte application company.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, you mentioned the AI and how you're working with that and blockchain and a lot of kind of technologies all merging, kind of overlapping here together. What stage are you at, would you say? Are you,
Yes.
and what are your plans for this year?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we are early stage, right? We haven't yet launched. We're working furiously, right? But that is part of the plan. That is part of the plan in 2024. So we are launching in mid-April 2024 with our first release, right? And then this is happening in Doha. We're having an event, and we're calling it the Fashathon, which is similar to how you have hackathons. You get with a hackathon, you have these software engineers you bring together and you build on top of the platform. With the Fashathon, what we are focused on is getting a good mix of, and we're having this event, I should say, in Doha in Qatar. It's the TEFA event in Doha, and I think many of you, your viewers are probably not aware. So TEFA is like, and let me gather my memory here, is the technology, economics, finance, fashion, and art event that's done by I would say the city of Doha to get the ecosystem there sort of more vibrant in these areas. So we're launching at that, and we should have a good set of the fashion community involved and working with the product and getting a hands-on look at the product. So that's April 15th. Now, obviously, that event, registration is open on our website, and that event is not just in person. So if you're not in Doha, you can still go in there and register and be part of the online show as well. So yeah.
Oh, exciting. And it's an industry that hasn't had a lot of technology yet. So you're bringing it to them. So fascinating.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Krishnan, for
Thanks
coming
very
and
much,
planning efforts.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.